What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to PlayStation Generation episode 97. My name is Matt, and I'll be your host for today's events. I'm joined, as always, by the Buckley's boy himself, Mr. Denis Rukun. What's up, Denis?
What's up? Happy it's not Sunday. Happy Monday. Special later edition of the show today.
Yeah, special later edition of the show. We had some stuff pop off yesterday, but everybody's good. Everybody's safe. Everybody's all right. We just had to do a little, a little pivot, a little turn, a little switcheroony.
That's life.
That's life. I'm still on Korea time, so I was confused. Let's run with that.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do that. And of course, hanging out with us as always is the PlayStation Hokage himself, Mr. Rice.
Hey,
what's up, Rice?
Hey, good to be here. Good to be here. Sometimes life just catches you by the balls and says, "Not today."
Yeah,
and that's all right.
Sometimes life catches you by the balls because both of your co-hosts show up wearing yellow sweaters and you don't own one, so you have to put on a bag and pretend that it's like an act like nothing happened, and instead you look like a discount Winnie the fucking Pooh.
Did we get the colors? Right?
I love
on the bottom.
I love honey. I'm not wearing pants.
Touche.
I know. It is so good to be back with you two, my guys. I missed you both immensely over the last little while. Once again, shout out to both of you for holding the fort down while I was overseas. But I'm back now, so shit's about to get. I mean, it's just about to be is exactly as it was.
Business as usual.
The business as usual. We back as we have been back because we never left.
We back.
This week's show, we're going to talk some Marathon. We're going to talk some God of War. Then we're going to talk some more God of War. Then we're going to talk some Resident Evil. And we're going to talk about a whole bunch more. So strap in and prepare thyself for the show of a lifetime. But before we do, you piece of shit, all of that, let's check in with Denny, my dude. What's been on that backlog burning over the last week?
The backlog grows smaller.
Look at you.
So Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origins is in the books as
nice.
Let's go.
Benito.
You took it out back the neighboring McDonald's, dug up the bit of land and put it to bed.
It's laid to rest.
It is laid to rest. Okay, and how do we feel about it? Obviously good enough if you finished the entire thing.
Oh yeah, I was a man on a mission. I think I was just like looking at what games I'd already started, and that was the closest one to me. So I picked it up and finished it.
Like in physical proximity, it was closest to you.
Physical proximity. It was on the top of the shelf.
Nice.
But yeah, like it was a good game. It was fun. The story, yeah, I know I'm gonna hear it in a second. Shut up, both of you.
Hold on. Right. So give me just a sec. Right. Denny, can you tell me 3 different events that happen in the story of that game? And I'm not talking about like boss battles. I'm not, because that's stuff you obviously have to play through. Can you tell me 3 things that happen in cutscenes in Strangers of Paradise, Final Fantasy, whatever the fuck the name is?
Then I'm gonna spoil it because, like, for the record, I know the story because I played Final Fantasy 1.
Yeah, and you couldn't skip cutscenes back then.
Back
then. Story was interesting. A weird take on the original Final Fantasy, but yeah, it wasn't bad. It was a fun hack and slash, so I'll give it that. And now we move on to bigger and scarier things as I start playing Resident Evil Requiem.
Ooh, I'm gonna hop in here because I have also hopped into Resident Evil Requiem. I am a weak man. I was like, I'm not gonna pick it up on launch, and then I saw the reviews hit, and then I saw the PS5 Pro stuff, and I was like, all right, I have a couple things I could trade in. Let me see if I can find it. I called every GameStop and Best Buy and Microplay, and it was sold out everywhere.
Everybody got like 3 copies that weren't pre-ordered.
Wild, dude. So I spent all of Friday trying to hunt this thing down to no avail. On Saturday, I was going to see some friends in a neighboring city, and I was like literally I was stopping by to pick up donuts to bring them over, and there was an EB Games literally right next to the donut shop. And I was like, I called this place 2 hours ago, and they told me they had nothing. But you know what? I brought the games with me. Let's just take a quick stroll in and see. And I walk in, I'm like, hey, do you have any Resident Evil? He's like, Requiem? I'm like, no, Village. Of course, Requiem. What do you mean?
Give me Resident Evil 3 for the PS1, please.
Yeah, please. And he's like, no, but yes. I was like, what does that mean? What? How do you simultaneously? Is this Schrodinger's Resident Evil? Like, is this
no shows?
No, apparently they literally had one copy left that they were using as like the display copy. But because, and he was like, we don't usually sell these. Like, it's sealed. It's a totally normal copy of the game. They usually just, again, like they leave it sitting to like,
They
you know,
just cut
as a
it, yeah.
display. And he said, we don't usually sell these because we, you know, we display it, but we don't have any more copies and we don't know when we're getting more copies. So I can sell you this one. And I was like, twist my arm. I guess I could pick it up. So I've hopped into it. I'm only a couple hours in. I'm fresh. Game looks crazy beautiful on PS5 Pro. We're gonna get into some news about it real soon. But like it looks stunning. I'm actually gonna toss out a lasso and bring in our first question nice and early because Nagashaka writes in saying, which version of Resident Evil Requiem did everyone pick up? Digital, standard, deluxe, or all of them? And are you playing in first or third person mode? Denny, what did you get?
Well,
if you're about to tell me that you bought digital when I bought physical,
I don't want to say it because you're gonna get mad.
Tell
what
us.
Do you mean? Why am
Tell
I
the
gonna get
people
mad?
what they want to hear.
So I may have walked into my local Walmart.
No, you
and
didn't.
Found a copy of this digital deluxe, or not the digital, sorry, the deluxe edition for clearance.
You're such a liar.
Yo, you
How?
For the Switch 2.
I'm convinced that Denny like walks into these places, be like, "Can I see that?" Like stabs it with the knife, and then comes back like half an hour later, and when they had to obviously put this on clearance now.
Yeah, because this is some superpower that you have.
How did you find that game on launch at clearance? Are you sure you didn't pick up like 7 and they've just fooled you into thinking that you're playing Requiem?
No, it says Requiem on it. I played it.
It says Requiem.
It's the Switch. First of all, it's the Switch 2 edition.
Okay, but I heard it's great.
It's great on the Switch 2. Like honestly, I've played it docked. I've played it in handheld. It looks great both ways. Yeah, and to answer the original question, so I have the deluxe edition with the steelbook. And
damn, of course he does.
You're cracked, dude. I don't know how you do it.
How do you?
I'm playing it in both first and third person mode.
Do you know somebody?
He's got to know somebody.
You
right?
got to have a connect, bro.
I do not. I literally
like
just
head of
walk
the
into
clearance department for all places,
or for that Walmart specifically. Because it's always the same Walmart, is it not?
No, it's different Walmarts. It's 2 different Walmarts.
I give the fuck up.
Yeah,
as for myself, like I said, I got the standard just physical edition. I'm gonna trade this thing in so fast after I beat it because I'm not somebody who replays these games 1,700 times. And I'm also playing in first and third person, so I'm playing third in Leon and first in with Grace.
Hell yeah.
And it is very scary, especially Grace's section.
Does switching from first to third person change anything for your experience?
I feel like first person is scarier.
Yeah. I felt that. I mean, especially with Biohazard, right?
Yeah.
So one thing they say, actually, and I don't know if you remember this, Matt, but when you're doing the initial setup for the game, it asks you what mode you want to play, and it actually recommends that you do first person for Grace's part of the story, and you do third person for Leon's part of the story, because Leon's portion of the story so far has also, like what they've said, has been more action oriented, like Resident Evil 4, 5, 6, whereas Grace's part of the story is a little bit more of that spooky horror style of 7 and 8.
Yeah,
that immersive. Okay,
yeah,
interesting.
Yeah, and I gotta say, like, again, I'm early on. I feel like I'm just getting to the point where the game is like really starting now. But I'm enjoying it so far. It is terrifying. I've been playing it at night, which is a bad idea. I'm actually going to pull in our first news story right off the top here while we're talking about this, because an upgraded PSSR upscaler is on the way for the PS5 Pro, meaning the PS5 Pro is about to get even better. Resident Evil Requiem is the first title to use it. This is coming from Mark Cerny, the PS5 Lord. Today, we're excited to announce an upgraded version of PSSR will be rolling out globally to PS5 Pro players in the coming weeks. PSSR is an AI library that analyzes game images pixel by pixel as it upscales them. It's PS5's upscaler. We know this. Yeah. This is not new hat for anybody who's been paying attention to the PS5 Pro, but we've heard rumblings of the PSSR 2, which is basically over the course of the last few months, with that kind of late February, early March anticipated launch window, and it's here. Digital Foundry, when they were talking about Resident Evil, kind of alluded to that there was something else going under the hood with the PS5 Pro. and now we get outright confirmation, and there is more coming. It is going to hit all of the existing PSSR titles in the next coming weeks. There won't be any more patches that we'll have to do. It's just going to start working, and it's going to start working very, very soon. As long as you enhance PSSR image quality in the settings, we'll kind of kick that thing into full gear. And let me tell you, this looks incredible on the PS5 Pro. It looks gorgeous. The ray tracing and the lighting is insane. The level of detail, like the rain when you're walking with Grace in the rain at the beginning of the game, like you can see that shit trickle. You know what I mean? I'm stoked to see how this will look on other stuff soon. Because that's what actually one of the main reasons that I hopped into Resident Evil Requiem, because I did find Switch 2 copies of the game, but I was like, I need this for my PS5 Pro. And can I tell you a funny little story? Because I got home. I'm like, all right, you've been out all day. My wife is tired. My baby is tired. I'm going to put them both down to bed, and I'm going to come down and I'm going to rip some Resident Evil. But I'm like, let me toss this bad boy in to start installing. Folks, question for the class. Who can tell me if I had bought a physical copy of Resident Evil and I own a PS5 Pro, what problem did I run into immediately?
Not enough storage space.
Try again.
Internet's down.
Install time.
Does the PS5 Pro have a disk drive?
Wait, don't you have a disk drive?
I have, and I've had it boxed under a pile of stuff since I bought it because I've never found a reason to open it. And I had to go hunting for this thing. And I'm like, where the hell did I leave it?
Oh, no.
So I had to go digging and hunting for this stupid thing. And I found it, and then I got it, and then it worked. But let me tell you, I had some real fear there. But yeah, it looks incredible. I'm very, very excited about PSSR 2. I'm stoked to see how it continues to roll out over the course of the next coming weeks. We'll be talking about it, I'm sure.
Let's go.
But let's hop over to Rice, my boy. What's been keeping you busy?
Yeah, I've been jumping around from different title to title after completing Yote, as I've said in previous episodes here. I've been revisiting New Game Plus for a lot of different titles, from the God of War stuff, because I was hyping myself up for the show, which we'll probably allude to in a bit. And actually this week I hopped back into the Borderlands series, both 3 and 4. And I'm doing comparisons again, and trying to figure out where the experience is kind of failing the community. So yeah, I have thoughts, but that's where I've been putting most of my time this week, and also been playing exclusively on my Portal lately, which has been really fun. And yeah, I love that thing.
I love that thing too. Just a fantastic little piece of hardware. Yes, Denny.
How come none of us has mentioned we played Marathon together yet?
Yeah, because we're getting to that.
We're going to take that left turn right now because, of course, the Marathon server slam was happening over the course of the last few days. And yes, we can confirm the rumors. Denny, Rice, and I all played it together across both of their streams. And let's bring in the Cariotti kid, because John writes in saying, "How are you enjoying Marathon? Overall thoughts? Where do you think it will land with people?"
So first of all, have you guys continued to play over the weekend? Had you played on the weekend?
I have. I hit level 10.
Hell yeah.
Not.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm at 11 or 12 or something like that.
Okay, Rice, we got to start with you as the Rungy, as a resident Bungie guy.
Rungy. Yeah, I like
the Rungy.
Uh-huh.
How are we feeling about Marathon so far?
Listen, I've had a lot of fun with Marathon so far. I think that I have a little bit of bias in how Bungie tells stories, and if you hopped into stream with us, you could actually hear us arguing about Denny not caring about the story at all, which is what we were alluding to earlier when he was talking about playing Final Fantasy. And so I think that to really experience Bungie's storytelling, you have to play the game, you have to do these runs. And you have to experience failure, There's a lot of frustration that you have to go through in order to really get the full experience. That said, when you jump into these runs, which is what they're called, with friends, it is a pretty hilarious time. Even when you're focused on an objective, anything can happen. You can run into a team, you can run into some uh some interactions, some world stuff, and it's quite fun with a group. And I believe we have a question here that I
Yeah,
think.
we do have a question from Adam Gumbert at adamgumby.bsky.social saying, does Marathon seem like a game that requires a friend group to enjoy long term? If so, who has room?
I mean, hey, in the future, I think Denny and I were talking about even just doing rotations, inviting people who are in the chat to come join.
Did I just get kicked out?
No, not at all. Not at
This
all.
was a backup plan in case you couldn't make it that night.
Okay, that's fair. Way to save it, Denny. I'm happy again. Continue. My ego has
This
been
is the
stroked
real
enough,
reason
that's
why
all.
we brought yellow sweaters to the pod today.
You could not make me any more of a red shirt.
No, truly here, I did do an experiment. I did some solo queuing on the weekend, and I turned on proximity chat. We didn't have proximity chat on when we were playing together, but it is quite hilarious to experience this with proximity chat on, because you'll run into some characters. I think the fun of these experiences is that you'll never know who you'll run into, what kind of person you'll run into. And I think some people really lean into the role-playing part of this. They make it fun too. I ran into someone that was doing trivia. And if you answered the trivia correctly, they would not attack you.
I've seen people doing this with Arc Raiders on TikTok.
Yes, so there's fun stuff like that can happen, and I think that the community makes the experience. Now, the question at hand here was, do you need a team? I mean, I don't think you do. I think you can solo queue it, but I think that it could get old pretty quickly if you don't like the interactions that you're having, or you're not experiencing what we experienced. What do you guys think?
I agree with you. Asterisk. I do think that this type of game is inherently better with people. Full stop. I don't think there's any way around that.
Yes.
When I was playing with you guys, or I was playing with another buddy of mine, it was a much more enjoyable experience than when I was playing alone. That being said, I think like the first half of the weekend, I was like, I don't know how much I like this solo, and then something kind of clicked in my mind, and I started to enjoy it way more when I started treating it like a stealth game. Because I think the game fundamentally changes how you play if you play alone. And I think if you use the rook shell, which is built for playing by yourself, because it's basically a scavenger. It's you get in and you enter a match that's already playing. You're limited to a couple things that the game gives you for that kit. You have a special ability that like blinds you to the robots. So that way you can get into higher loot areas and kind of grab stuff and get out. I think playing it that way solo recontextualized it a lot for myself and made it much more enjoyable, because when I started playing solo, I was avoiding every fight that I could, regardless if it was players or robots. I was basically like slinking around in the shadows, trying to, skulk around. And I was kind of getting into the role play myself a bit, feeling like this like lonely little robot in a hostile environment, trying to get in, grab whatever I can and get the hell out. And I started enjoying it much more solo that way. Now, that being said, if you don't enjoy that flip, then I think, you're going to have a harder time solo. And I do think, solo is by default harder. But like I was saying, like when I was playing with my buddy, I had already died. So he was basically playing solo at that point. He basically got to an extraction point and he was like standing on a building above it as it was starting to extract. So he dove in last second. Him and the other guy start staring at each other. They both start shooting each other. My friend gets knocked, but then the guy just left him alone and let him extract. So there's these really cool emergent moments that I think happen, when you play these games by yourself that don't happen the same way when you play with the crew. So,
Agreed.
I do think that would be my asterisk. I think that like coming into Marathon, I was much more like, I don't know how I'm going to feel about it. But coming out of this weekend, it it's stuck in my head. I did not play Resident Evil as much as this weekend because I ended up diving into Marathon every night, which I was not anticipating doing.
Sure.
You know, it really kind of sat in my brain. And I'm very, very excited to get back to it in a few days because and really start progressing, because this weekend I think all of us were playing a little bit more carefree because it doesn't matter. There wasn't anything carrying over. But now I kind of want to dig in and start to kind of, live in that world a little bit, because I'm much more intrigued than I was, even a week ago.
Yeah, you make a good point about, the Rook and also the other shells that were available to us in Server Slam. Like, there is a bit of an intentionality that you kind of have to go in the game with. It's almost as if Bungie is pushing us to, actually role play as these characters. They want you to really immerse into these things, because as you progress, as you kind of put more stock into certain factions and stuff, more pieces of lore will be given to you, little small cutscenes and small pieces of dialogue that really do bring you closer into this world. And so I will be playing this game. I've asked a lot of people this weekend, and I think that they've shared the same sentiments of, I wasn't expecting to like it. I wasn't expecting to even really jump into this game, but now I am intrigued, is what they have said.
Yeah, and I do have some issues with that, with the game itself as well. But before we get into that, Denny, you played with us. You're not usually this type of shooter person. You don't care for extraction shooters. So I kind of want to see where you're at on Marathon after playing it with us.
So initial impressions was it was fun. I had a great time hanging out with you guys, and I think that's the thing. And I think Ray said it earlier. It's community based. One of the reasons why I don't like playing many extraction shooters or any first person shooters with an online component, to be honest with you, is some people just take the game way too seriously. You don't have, if you hop in late, if you're not right there at the start of launch and trying to like reach end game content and do end game raids and stuff, you basically have a hard time. You're always playing catch up. You're always kind of like getting yelled at because you screw up, or it's a lot of work to have fun. Whereas here, like, I think this would be a game that I would play with friends, or if the community is that kind of laid back and chill and friendly, that I wouldn't mind solo queuing with strangers. But for me, I think it was just the three of us literally goofing around, accidentally hacking things we shouldn't be hacking, and then unleashing a bunch of elites.
Also, I checked the tape. I did not open that door. I was far enough away from it. So one of you is lying.
I didn't open the door.
I was at the back of the room.
Matt did it. Matt
was last.
Matt opened the door.
There was one occurrence where a door opened to plenty of enemies and nobody will take. I was at the back. I was at the back of the room, and I had a sterling reputation up until that point.
So we'll see about this. Yeah. We're gonna have to dig into this. There's a mole here, and we don't know who it is.
I am almost convinced that it's Rice. I am almost convinced he's playing.
He's just gaslighting us right now. Yeah,
1,000%. 1,000%.
Yeah, I believe it.
But yeah, I think the kind of sentiment across the board here with us is that we came out of it much warmer than I think we were heading into it.
Totally.
And even people who aren't big extraction shooter people, I do think that like this, in the aftermath and kind of still current popularity of Arc Raiders has really helped people contextualize this game and how to play it and how it makes sense for a lot of general folks. And I'm actually going to bring in another Marathon related story here, because something that does make me even more excited about the game is, this is coming from EDC, written by Chris Scullion. Bungie has said that anybody that gets caught cheating at Marathon is donezo, banned forever, no second chances. A new post on the official Bungie website detailing the networking and security setup for its upcoming extraction shooter. Bungie stated, anyone found cheating will be perma-banned from playing Marathon forever, no second chances. We're committed to making your experience on Tau Ceti 4 fun, engaging, and fair. We'll be continuously monitoring the live game and make frequent updates, blah, 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 blah. So, the massive asterisk here being obviously, like, I hope that their shit is in line so that people don't get accidentally banned for doing that thing. But like, I can't stand, I don't usually have crossplay enabled because I can't stand playing with people who cheat and hack online, on PC, which is much more prevalent on PC than it is on console. So I'm heartened to hear that they're like, absolutely not. Fuck y'all. If you get caught, you're done. So
Yes, get fucked.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, we'll be talking more about Marathon next week because this was just a service slam. The game's coming out in a few days. I know we're Rice and I will be hopping in for sure. Maybe we can swing Denny over the fence. I know he's on it right now. And maybe by the time 2027 rolls around, he'll finally be starting to play.
Guys, I just started Destiny 2. Cut me some slack. I'm a little busy.
Whoa! No, you haven't. That's
No,
not
you
you.
didn't.
That's so cap. What do you mean?
Let's hit a couple PlayStation rock block stops here because we got our monthly games for the month of March. We are going to be getting PGA 2K20, PGA Tour 2K25 for the PS5, Monster Hunter Rise across PS5 and PS4, Slime Rancher 2 on PS5, and the Elder Scrolls Online Collection Gold Road across both consoles as well. And this will be available for tomorrow at the time of recording on Tuesday, March 3rd. Denny, how are we feeling about March's monthly games?
So you're going to think I'm trolling, but I'm not.
Okay, go on.
I'm actually psyched for PGA Tour 2K25.
Nah, fuck off, dude.
No, I'm serious. I'm serious. I don't know why. I really, really like golf games.
Really?
Yes. Like,
Okay.
From like, I had golf on the NES. I've played a bunch of Mario Golf games. I played a lot of the PGA games. Like Tiger Woods was my shit.
This being a PlayStation podcast, the fact that you haven't mentioned any of the Hot Shots golf.
Oh, I was just about to.
Okay,
Give me a
good,
second.
good.
God.
Okay. I'm just checking you, bro.
Hot
All
Shots Golf 2 was also one of the first games I got on my PlayStation, or one of the first sports games I got on my PlayStation.
Two is the one. Yeah.
Two is the one. Especially if you put in
Hot Shots.
the initials of the game backwards, you unlock all the characters and all the balls, and you get
well done.
Character.
Look at
Thank
that.
That's a good cut of lore right there.
Yep.
Thank you. Monster Hunter Rise, that's exciting. Slime Rancher, I don't know too much about, and the Elder Scrolls Online. If you're not paying for it, cool. I don't know if it's still subscription based or not. That's how long it's been since I've touched Elder Scrolls Online.
Grants instant access to all major chapter zones, biomes, and quest arcs across Tamriel. So I'm guessing this is one of those, like, I'm guessing it went the Final Fantasy 14 route where there's a chunk of stuff that's free, but maybe not everything. You know what I mean?
Right.
But maybe fact check that, Denny.
I will. So I mean, otherwise, strong start as always. A little bit of something for everyone. I like it. I'm excited. This is getting like auto downloaded the second it's available. Sorry, I'm hovering over 2K20 PGA 2K25 on my computer here. So
interesting. Okay. Golf guy.
A golf guy. Right. How are we feeling?
I'm giving Denny shit, but I'm actually also a golf video game golf. Ever since Mario Golf, bro, like I love playing golf as a video
so much
game.
right now.
Okay. Anyway, so sure, I'll try 2K25, whatever. But particularly in this list here, Monster Hunter Rise was a great experience for me when it first came out on the Switch. And so I love that people are going to be able to, experience this given that they're subscribed. Didn't really care much for the Elder Scrolls. But I hear Slime Rancher is actually a super fun game and it's super cozy as well. So
Interesting.
I might get into that.
Denny with the update here. Denny, tell us, do you need one?
No.
Do you need a sub?
A subscription is not required. It operates on a buy-to-play model, meaning you only need to purchase the base game once. However, optional subscription exists, offering benefits like unlimited crafting storage, all DLC access, and monthly currency.
Gotcha. So you play you can buy so this will give us the full game, and if you want to go deeper in, then you can.
Yeah.
You know what, guys? I really can't believe I'm about to say this. I also like golf games. What the hell? Now, I've never played any of the 2K ones, but like the Mario Golfs, the Hot Shots, Walkabout Mini Golf on PSVR 2. I genuinely really love mini golf. Like I am a massive mini golf guy.
Is this our
Uh,
step brothers moment?
Did we
right
just
now?
become best friends?
I genuinely, so maybe I will download this. I've never tried like a full sim-esque golf game.
That's
Um,
hilarious.
but maybe this is like, if there's multiplayer, maybe this is a stream in the making.
This is it.
I also really like Monster Hunter Rise. Similar to Rise, I've also heard fantastic things about Slime Rancher.
Mhm.
And ESO is one of those games, like I don't care. I'm not a big Bethesda person. None of their properties have really hit for me in any significant way. I'm sure, for those who care, this is great. It's cool that it's there. But I also want to kind of call it the fact that we're getting 4 games,
Yeah.
which they've kind of done randomly here or there. I almost wonder if this is going to be kind of the new
Yeah.
standard going forward as they start to phase out the PS4 games. Like I
Mhm,
wonder if we're
mhm.
going to get 4 PS5 games. If we do, I ain't mad about it.
Yeah.
Let's hit one more PS5 centric story before we mosey on down to God of War land, because folks, they dropped the Marvel's Wolverine release date
Yes, sir.
in the most random fucking way possible. This is coming from Andy Robinson over at VGC. PlayStation finally confirms Marvel's Wolverine release date, and it's coming before GTA 6, launching on September 15th, 2026. This was like a random like Tuesday or something that they were just like, hey guys, it's coming out. One would have to wonder if they kind of pushed this out because of all the Bluepoint news that was going on, which we'll get to a
Totally.
little bit more in a sec here. But September is now Wolverine month. I think
Mhm.
September has worked well for PlayStation exclusives in the last few years across things like, Ghost of Yotei. I think that Stranding was earlier in the year, but there was, Spider-Man 2 hit in the same time frame. Golf with Your Friends stream, Denny. I absolutely love Golf with Your Friends. That shit
Why are
is
we not
ultimate
playing this
chaos.
shit?
It's so good.
That game is so busted in the best way.
It's so busted.
Every time I get together with friends, I'm like, guys, they're like, no, we're sick of playing this stupid game with you because we've
Guys,
had so many problems
please.
with it.
Add me on Steam. Let's get this going.
100,000%.
I genuinely love Golf with Your Friends.
So
But
good.
Wolverine is coming September 16th. It is around the corner. It is not too far out. Insomniac doesn't usually delay much, if at all.
Yeah.
So I feel like, they must be pretty confident to drop the release date,
Yes.
especially 2 months out from GTA. Rice, are you ready for Wolverine?
Absolutely. So this was actually the real reason why we wore yellow sweaters today, is to really honor the fact that the release date is out there. And I see that you have your Spider-Man t-shirt. So let it be known here that this was actually done on purpose. We've been capping this whole time. I'm really excited. I've been talking about Wolverine forever. So like I'm give it to me, all of it. I'm ready to experience all of it, give you all the notes or no notes, because this is just gonna be great.
See, we're actually just cosplaying this suit together.
Exactly.
Where
This is what's
the
happening.
red.
It's the
red
color
and-
palette.
Yeah, we're on it.
You know?
We're on it.
Yeah. So and we've been talking about the fact that Sony is kind of strategically releasing things around the release of GTA 6, or seemingly at least. So this is exciting. This is very exciting.
Denny, is Wolverine going to hop to the front of the line?
Yes. It is.
Why do you look constipated? Are you okay?
Yes and
I
no.
think he had
Sorry.
so many problems with what I was saying. I don't know.
No, so here's my thing, and sorry, it's a little tinfoily here, because I'm trying to remember, because I feel like this happened before. Sony announced this when? February 24th?
Yeah.
Is that not the same day as Nintendo, like their state of play that they did for like Pokemon Pokopia or whatever it's called?
Nope.
No.
The Pokemon Presents was the 27th.
But there was another one.
They may have done that Treehouse stream of Pokopia on that day. That is a possibility.
I'm just wondering, because I feel like they did this sometime before, where there was like a Nintendo Direct or an Xbox like thing, and then they just announced a game.
But what confuses me more is that like they literally had the state of play.
Yeah.
Like
No,
not
I know.
like 2 weeks prior.
I agree. I don't understand why they held out on us for 2 weeks. Probably, yeah, you're right. Maybe because of the negative press towards Bluepoint. But just it just seems weird to me because I remember them doing this recently as well. Someone else was announcing stuff, and then they just decided randomly to be like, "Hey, this game that you're all waiting for is coming out."
Like a casual drop as opposed to an
Yeah, just
intentional.
like here's a trailer on YouTube. Suck it. Like I don't know.
They've been doing this for the last, like, I want to say almost since COVID, where like they're kind of rhyme and reason for when they release information. Like, you before, it used to be like this moment, and now they're kind of like on a random Wednesday. Court and I have spoken about this like at length. They're just kind of like, hey guys, the PS6 is here, it's out now. Like, good luck. Like, it's like these like really weird marketing things where like and again, this was just like a trailer being like it's the release date September 16th. There's no new gameplay footage, there was no new story trailer, there was no like gameplay rollout, there was nothing kind of accompanying this.
Yeah, it was just the
know?
announcement.
And
Some
like
people have kind of discussed amongst the community that they will likely be aiming for spring to release more major gameplay footage.
I would have to imagine, but what I don't understand is that like, why not wait until Summer Game Fest at this point, that kind of late
Sure.
May, early June? Like, I can't imagine that, like, again, that would still be like 3 months out. I can't imagine they need that much runway for a Wolverine reveal. You know what I mean?
Right.
I feel like we're gonna know what this game is.
Right.
And I don't mean that
Yeah.
in a bad way, you know?
No, in the same way we would know Spider-Man.
Exactly. You know what
No
you're
matter how
getting
big it
into when
is.
you're walking into a Spider-Man game.
Sure.
The confines of that isn't going to be anything much, very drastic or radical,
Mhm.
one would
Mhm.
assume. Let's bring in this Bluepoint news because
Yep.
as you guys talked about it, and now we're going to continue to talk about it because of course the all-knowing Jason Schreier has dropped some more info. Sony's Bluepoint pitched a Bloodborne remake before closure. This is of course coming from
This
Jason
hurt
Schreier
me.
over at Bloomberg. RIP Bloomberg. Last week, Sony Group Corp announced the closure of Blueport Games, the Austin-based subsidiary behind acclaimed remakes of Demon Souls and Shadows of the Colossus. Around 70 people will lose their jobs, although Sony is giving them opportunities to apply for positions at other studios within the organization. This is just 5 years after they picked up Bluepoint, so on and so forth. Following the purchase, Bluepoint was working and helped with God of War Ragnarok. And then it was all in on live service games. They were making a God of War live service game where you would have been playing as Atreus, who fell into Hades, and you'd be like different versions of Atreus trying to get back out of hell. This sounds very similar to Hades, which is just a strange thing to kind of greenlight in the kind of landfall of how incredible that game was. It was an awkward fit for the studio, which hadn't released an original game since 2006 and never had developed a live service game. They ended up canning it in January of 2025, and over the course of the last year, they kept trying to pitch games, and Sony was like trying to talk to them, and they couldn't land on anything. One of the games that they had was one of the ideas that they had was a Bloodborne remake, and now this kind of comes with some rumors and some scuttlebutt and some industry gossip that's been going on for the last little while, but it seems like FromSoft actually kiboshed that idea. Miyazaki seems to be very passionate about Bloodborne, and some rumors, again, this is a little bit more in contention, but some say that he wasn't very happy with their work on the Demon Souls remake, which is wild for me considering how insanely gorgeous that game was and how well it sold. From Software was like, no, you can't remake Bloodborne. Then they're apparently talking about an updated version of Shadow of the Colossus, which, like, I'm fucking sorry, we don't need another one. Like, we don't need another edition of that goddamn game. It is beautiful and timeless as it is.
Exactly.
Like, you don't need to do it again. And then apparently they were just kind of spinning their wheels. They were trying to pitch stuff within existing IP and nothing came together. And then February, they made the decision to close the studio, which sucks ass. But I will say, if it's been a year and you can't figure out what to work on, I'm sure that they were assisting with other stuff elsewhere, but how do you not find Bluepoint something to do in a year?
Yeah. Not to mention the fact, one, their pedigree, and two, the failures, the recent failures of the live service stuff.
I just don't understand how you don't find them something. I don't understand how you don't go to, I don't know, how do you not go to Infamous? How do you not go to Siphon Filter? How do you not go to any of this like legacy IP like that you have? They have so much under their belt over the last 30 years. How is there nothing that they were excited about? And like, I have to almost wonder how much of this was mismanagement at the top of the studio.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Because again,
Mhm.
other rumors and scuttlebutt was that like the team itself wasn't that amped on the God of War idea, but the leadership
Right.
was. So like again, like how much of that was coming into play here? But
Creative differences.
yeah, it just reads to me like there's some shit doesn't make sense here.
Mhm.
And like you can't imagine that they put all their eggs in a Bloodborne basket, and then Miyazaki was like, nah, and they were like, fuck, you know what I mean? What else can we
Fuck
possibly
these
do?
guys.
I don't know, Denny, talk to me.
I don't know. That news reads to me like Bluepoint was really trying hard to get something greenlit, you know? From like you said, the Bloodborne remake, which I'm surprised no one has like burnt anything yet. Like I feel we would heard that in the news that there's a riot with pitchforks and stuff.
Well, it's this weird, confusing thing because apparently Miyazaki wants to do it himself, but he has no time.
It's really
people-
gatekeepy.
It is.
You know?
I'm just saying, like the first thing when I saw the headline, I was like, oh, people are gonna be pissed. We almost got a Bloodborne remake.
That's how I felt.
Let's see, case in point. The real reason why we wore yellow today is just solidarity for the lost Bloodborne remake.
Let the game die. I'm sorry. just let it go.
No.
Anyways,
the fucking Bloodborne remake is like George R.R. Martin's next book. It's just not gonna happen. Just let it go.
Never.
Yeah, but they're still making Last of Us stuff.
Yep.
As they should.
Get the fuck out of here. Sorry, Denny. Go ahead.
No, it's fine. Like, I mean, to me, it seems like they were trying to do something, but yeah, I agree with both with your sentiment that it just seems like there's some mismanagement, some sort of miscommunication. Something is not sitting well. And then there's a little blip in that article about how Sony announced the God of War trilogy remake and they weren't even aware or asked to be involved. And I remember that. I think we got that as a question when that first was announced. Like, do you guys think Bluepoint is behind it? So again, speaks to their pedigree in handling IP and especially legacy IPs and being able to create, you know, great updated experiences for existing games. I also find it baffling that you can't think of something and no one in any meeting was like, hey, why don't we bring back X series? Why don't we do this? We have, you know, it's been X amount of years that we probably have a new generation of gamers who have never played like the original Infamous or Siphon Filter, just like what you said.
Dude,
right?
God of War, like God of War and God of War 2 in the collection were ported by Bluepoint.
Exactly.
They already
done it. Yep. And that's what I'm saying. It just boggles my mind. And I don't know, man. It's been what we've been saying before. I feel like people at the top aren't listening to the people who have the wallets and would buy this stuff. And we're gonna get something real shitty coming out soon, I bet.
It's just whack, dude. I don't get it. Well, you know, let's you know, step right on Bloodborne's grave and keep this walk going. Let's go into God of War land. We got a couple of things that we're going to talk about here. For the first of which, boy howdy, was it fun being on the internet on this day. We got our first look of the God of War live action series by Dennis here on the site. Prime Video God of War. We got our first look. Let's pull in a question. Because Chris Zazer writes in saying thoughts on the first image featuring Kratos and Atreus from Amazon's upcoming God of War series. Rice, talk to me. I'm also going to pull in Savoy Prime, who says, "What up, y'all? What's everyone's thoughts on the Amazon God of War TV series casting so far? Let's pin that and come back to it. How do we feel about the first official image of the series?" Matt, welcome back, my brother. Have a great show, PG crew. Appreciate you greatly.
Hell yeah.
Rice, back to you.
Shout out Savoy. Thanks for checking out the stream, by the way. Dude, like when people are cast, I tend not to judge until, you know, something like this photo comes out. And man, when this photo came out, I was like, what the hell are we looking at right now? I said this before it was a headline, but it looks like Kratos is shitting himself.
It looks like he's taking a dump in the woods. It does.
Looks like he needs to take a dookie while Atreus.
Yeah, boy, look over there. Do you see that deer? Oh no, seriously, do you see that deer over there?
Focus on the deer, boy.
And I'm it's tough because you know, I was really, really looking forward to this just being great. And unfortunately, it's falling into the trope of like at anything that is animated that tries to go live action just kind of looks like a skit.
I think this looks like a Taco Bell commercial from like a
No,
Super
for
Bowl
real.
thing. Like I'm with you 100%, Rice. This is like whoever released this image must hate this show.
Yo,
Because like
it's
I
sabotage.
genuinely do think Ryan Hurst will make a good Kratos.
I
The-
agree.
Like the image of him announcing that they announced that he was playing him looks harder than he does in this photo. I think this kid looks fine as Atreus. I don't think there's anything technically wrong here when you look at this as its parts. I think whoever decided not to release a teaser or a trailer, we need to see this shit in motion
Yeah.
because this is not
not
this should never have been the first look for this series.
It's not it. It's sabotage. It is terrible.
Like this could look great in motion. And that's the thing. Like there's this uncanny valley area where like anything will look like cosplay until you kind of buy into the world. The One
Agreed.
Piece series is a fantastic example of something that could look really wrong.
Yes.
If you just boil it down to its stills, but in motion and you know, with everything going on, you buy into it a lot more and you get in on the camp. I don't understand how anybody greenlit this photo.
Yeah. They don't understand. Or they completely understand and they just want to fuck it up. It's bad. It's bad. Everyone's reactions are warranted and they're informed because it's such a beloved IP.
And
What
again,
the
like I don't necessarily think that this means that the show's going to be bad. I'm trying to really reserve judgment until we actually see this in motion.
Absolutely.
But like, what the fuck, Denny? What the fuck?
I hate it.
It's bad.
It's a bad still. Actually, so I looked at it for a while and I could not put how I felt into words until I went onto the internet. And I think the sentiment that resonated the most with me when looking at this picture is this looks like it belongs in like one of those like spoof films, like Scary Movie or something like that. Like they're making a sequel to like one of those like action movie like spoof type things, and that's what it looks like to me. And I see it, and now I can't unsee it. And again, it could just be that this looks a lot better in motion than it will as a still. But
you know what, Denny, you're 100% right because it looks exactly like this.
It
looks like a Ben Stiller commercial. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh,
like this was devious work putting this out as the first look.
yeah, diabolical.
I don't understand how anybody looked at that picture and was like, this is it. At least they could have grabbed a still from maybe, I don't know, 5 seconds before or 5 seconds after when Kratos is fucking standing. You know what I mean? Like,
why not make him look badass instead of hunched over?
This, you know what would have saved this image for me even if you saw like cameras and crew in the background, because then you could actually conceptualize that this is a behind the scenes photo. That this is something that we are promoting and that we know is going to look better in post. But this was marketed as this scene that we are going to see, and it was
sorry,
I mean, not necessarily marketed, but I mean, this is what we have perceived it to be.
This is our first look at this thing.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I think you're both right in that sense that if this is a first look, and now, you know, I'm not trying to pander down to anyone, maybe like, you know, some people are looking at this like this is exactly the still you're going to see when you load this up on Prime Video or whatever. Right? Or like that's exactly what it's going to look like. Maybe there's no post that's been done yet. There's no color grading, any of that stuff. We don't know. And I'm sitting here trying to make an excuse for why this thing looks so bad.
But like, why wouldn't you show like a shot of like Kratos swinging his axe or something, or like anything, like anything else than this still photo that has nothing to it? And I hope you're right, Denny. I hope that this is a thing where like the color grading is going to be fixed more, and there's going to be something like this needs to look grainier than it does. Do you know what I mean? This looks too clean. This looks too Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. What the fuck is Gollum?
What the fuck is Gollum out? let's stay in God of War land, because coming from Polygon, we actually got some rumors and leaks coming from Amy Hart that a God of War spinoff is reportedly in the works, starring Faye. An unexpected God of War character is reportedly getting a spinoff from developer Sony Santa Monica. Faye, the wife of Kratos and mother of Atreus, portrayed by Daredevil and True Blood star Deborah Ann Wolf, will star in her very own game, rumored to be revealed later this year for a 2027 release. This is coming from well-known leaker Nate the Hate, and then corroborated across a number of things later on. There's a bunch of stuff that this was a new game, but not a new IP. This is apparently Corey Barlog's new game. This is their team working on his team working on this, and it's apparently supposed to feel closer to a Devil May Cry or the old God of Wars than this kind of new era of God of War that we're in. I love Deborah Ann Wolf. I think she's a fantastic actress. I'm stoked to see her theoretically return.
Do we want this?
I don't have a problem with this in theory. I find it very strange to make it centered on Faye.
Sure.
When the entirety of the reboot is focused on laying her to rest. So unless this is like a prequel game, this is maybe showing her in her younger years before she met Kratos, so on and so forth, whatever the fuck. If this is that game, okay. I think you're starting to limit yourself in terms of sequel potential, but I really hope that this isn't she's not actually dead thing, whatever, because I think that will cheapen the entirety of this God of War revival. I have no problem with her being the main character as a standalone thing. I have no problem with it being a woman, because there's a bunch of edgelord losers who are already kicking and screaming about it being centered on a woman. Fuck you. I think she's a stellar actress. I think, a more action-oriented combat system is a great idea. Until we learn more, I don't understand why it's her, because I don't want it to take away from what's already here, when there was so much in the pantheon of God of War that they could have gone to instead, and they still could have centered on a female character. They still could have done all this. That's kind of where I'm at initially.
Yes. I would be inclined to agree, especially because I actually really liked Faye's character, partly due to the mystery around her existence, when she was alive. And there's a lot to be said about that mystery. And you're right. I would agree that it would have to be a prequel. I mean, there's a little bit to work with there, but even still, that's what I was alluding to when I said, do we want this? Because I don't know, because I think that it could also be a disservice to her character to try and expand anything around that,
Like, I am heartened in that it being Corey, because at least he was the one that shepherded this new era of God of War in. So if there's a story he wants to tell with her, then I'm more interested in seeing what he has in mind.
Sure.
But
so prove us wrong.
Yeah, Denny, where are you at?
I'm gonna wait and see. I don't want to pass any judgment right now. I don't know. It seems great that they want to bring a game back in the style of the old God of War series with the type of hack and slash adventure, but until there's more said or more that's revealed, I'm just gonna wait and see. I'm just glad it's not a dating sim.
I fucking wish it was a dating sim, Denny.
Really?
Now you put that in out there. Yeah, 100%. I love a good dating sim.
Well, let's hope it's not like Sons of Sparta.
Let's hope it's not that.
No, that was a horrible dating sim.
That was a horrible dating sim. The only person you ever talked to was your brother, which, like, this is not. I don't want to get into that.
No.
And you have to actually beat the game before the dating sim part is unlocked, by the way.
And you got a bunch of average Metroidvania to get there. Let's hit one more story before we round out with some questions, because this is something that we have to talk about. Coming from IGN, written by Wesley Ian Poole, console is where they want to be. Reports indicate Sony is pulling away from PC for single-player PlayStation games. Various comments from credible sources, including Bloomberg reporter Jason Schreier and Digital Foundry's John Linneman, indicate PC has become less important for Sony, and that single-player PlayStation exclusives may remain just that. Speaking on the Triple Click podcast, Schreier indicated that Sony will continue to release its live service games on PC as well as PlayStation, but quote unquote, the sense I'm getting is that they're backing away from putting their exclusive console stuff, like traditional single player stuff, on PC. He continues to suggest that Insomniac's Wolverine may never come to PC. I'm going to bring in a question before we start talking about this because Dave Pietrangelo, our buddy Dave, writes in saying, "What's up with Sony not wanting the release of single-player games on PC? They better not be going down a harder live service direction again." I have thoughts and feelings on this, but Denny, I want to hear where you're at on this. Why is Sony potentially backpedaling away from single-player PC stuff?
Two things come to mind. Okay, maybe three things. One, I don't think they're seeing a good return of investment in the development costs or the porting costs to PC in terms of those games, what they're getting back from that game. Two, I think maybe there's something to do with the modding scene and just how those games are impacted through mods. And then C, piracy. It's still very rampant in the PC scene, which really does tie back to A, right? Like if people are, for every 10 games you sell, if 100 people are downloading that game, it's very tough to break even.
Bryce, where you at?
I think that PlayStation has a pedigree of single player experiences that they like to boast on, and rightfully so. I think that they want to have some foundation and some platform to say that consoles, still exist in this world and should exist in this world. So they value this idea of exclusivity and providing a premium experience in that way. Outside of everything that Denny has said already, I think that Sony values those single player experiences so much so that they feel like they do need to gatekeep it. While my inner core belief is that gaming is for everybody and should be available to everybody, I do understand that sentiment, especially someone who has kind of grown up in the PlayStation ecosystem. So yeah, I'm torn on this, but I also kind of understand.
I think that there is merit in a lot of what you guys are saying because I do think they probably saw the return on the porting costs because a lot of their a lot of the shit sold well, at least the month that it launched in. Maybe you're right, maybe the tail wasn't as long as maybe we would be kind of led to believe. I kind of think that there might be looking at Xbox and seeing what happened there over the course of the last number of years. Obviously with everything, we didn't talk about it, but Phil Spencer's out, Sarah Bond, all this shit's going on.
Sarah Bond.
I think that whole this is an Xbox thing, I think PlayStation's looking at how the cards fell, and they never really strayed away from their exclusive game. Even with this kind of stuff, bringing it over to PC, it's always been a much later thing that doesn't really devalue it. But that sentiment was starting to set in where I'll just wait and play it in a year on PC. And while I do agree with you, Rice, I do believe in more of a free ecosystem so that people can play where they want to and where they're at their means to. But they've always been very staunch on their exclusives.
Yes.
Now, I do think another part of that is Xbox, again, kind of going this multi-platform, and a lot of the rumors around this next Xbox possibly having Steam.
Yeah.
I could see a trajectory where, let's say, they drop Wolverine on PC. The next Xbox has Steam, and now you're playing Wolverine on your Xbox. And I feel like you can start to lose this perceived value of an exclusive if at that point. I just mean like I think people will start to make that argument that you're playing Wolverine on your Xbox, and then at that point the exclusivity is dead.
But to counter that point, I mean, wouldn't Sony do a stagger release? I don't think they'd release it the same day as they would on PS5, just like they've done with other single player experiences. And what's to say that if they're worried about that, why won't they delist all of their existing experiences or their existing single player titles once that new Xbox comes out? Because then you're still playing Marvel Spider-Man or Marvel Spider-Man 2 or Ghost of Tsushima on an Xbox.
Because I think they know that they would catch way more shit if they did that than trying to do the opposite. I think they've kind of hit a point where they're like, okay, we've bled this much, we've made these decisions, now let's kind of hanker down as we move towards a possible handheld a PS6. The value proposition for the PS6 handheld and for the PS6 starts to get cleaner. If you're like, you can't play the shit anywhere else, this is the place that you can play it.
Only on
live
PlayStation.
live service makes total sense. You need you need the people, you need the install base across all of these things to get people in the door. But like, you have to wonder that they're probably much more guarded about their shit moving forward, given the way that Xbox is going and the way that the industry is kind of shifting and changing. Dragoon Arc in the chat, wasn't it reported that a game like Days Gone only brought in 20 mil? I wonder what it cost to port that game to PC. Yeah, 100%.
Totally.
I could be wildly off base. Maybe Denny's entirely on base there. But I don't think that this is terribly surprising.
No.
Is it unfortunate? Yeah, I think it does suck, especially for the people who have kind of gotten used to PlayStation first party coming to PC. But I guess time will tell. We got
not to mention.
Sorry, Rice, go ahead.
Sorry, yeah, and not we haven't even mentioned the fact that Nintendo. I mean, like the Nintendo is coming up, and the Switch 2 has proved to be a very capable console, and not that they are a one-to-one competition here like Xbox was, but I mean, Nintendo has always just been like, you're going to buy our exclusives because it's Nintendo.
But you have to wonder if I think you're spot on. If this handheld exists and is on the way, then they're going to be in direct competition for the first time in quite a while.
Truth.
And where there's already stories going around about how like, Resident Evil, in some ways works better on the Switch 2 than it does the Series S.
Right.
Like that's like, I never fucking thought we'd be in a world where that's the conversation that we're engaging in. But here's the point where we are. So I think you're actually dead on about that. Is they haven't really been in competition for a number of years since the Vita.
Yes.
But we might be seeing a world where that competition heats back up.
Absolutely.
Let's hit a couple more questions here, because Dragoon24 writes in saying, did you have a game recommendation from the previous year you'd consider a hidden gem that not enough people know or talk about? What's a hidden gem from last year?
I'm sorry. I'm just laughing because of the weird way Denny said absolutely.
I blame the mic.
Hit me with your hidden gems from last year.
Okay. I'm going to have to look at.
So one hidden gem for me, and I've been vocal about my appreciation for this game, is Bravely Default's HD remake. Or remaster, if you will. That was a game that was stuck on the 3DS for a very, very long time. It's a great game, and other successful titles like Octopath Traveler have built on that. So I think having it come out, being a launch title, being one of the more cost-effective titles for the Switch 2, just exposes it to a lot more people, and I think they'd be able to more people would be able to enjoy it.
I think that's a great shout out. I think for me, I want to shout out a game that I think really kind of came and went. It's Call of Duty Black Ops 7. I don't see enough people talking about it anymore. But in all seriousness, I have two. Wanderstop is a game that really hit me hard last year. Came out around this time last year. I saw a lot of people like kind of in the industry talking about it, but I don't know how much it kind of broke out outside of kind of games media. It's a game about running a tea shop and dealing with burnout, and it is one of my favorite games from last year. It is beautiful. It is calm. It really hit me at a time when I needed it most. When I was kind of in this review hell of playing a lot of games really quickly, and then Wanderstop hit, and it was just like this bit of calm in a very wild time. And similarly to Denny, I want to shout out Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar. It came to Switch and Switch 2. I reviewed it for But though, and I fell in love with that game way more than I ever anticipated. Really kind of getting into a game like that. I like a good cozy game here and then. I'm unbelievably excited for Pocopia, but Grand Bazaar is just a lot of fun. You're on your farm that has this really cool mechanic of like every Saturday, you would go and like you'd set up shop at a bazaar and you sell your shit. It's just really comfy, really cozy, just a good time. I think those two games I didn't see enough people talking about, and they're both really wonderful. And then of course, Call of Duty Black Ops 7. Right.
Well said.
Rice, any hidden gems?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna mention something that's super on brand for Rice, and I can't believe I'm mentioning this. It's a mobile game called Destiny Rising.
You're a
Um,
liar.
no, and I'm gonna say why.
Boo!
I'm gonna say why. Destiny Rising, for the short time that I did play it, was actually good. It
Why'd you
was
stop?
it was good because um it really honed in on the exploration of characters again, whereas the Destiny 2 universe kind of left that behind. The writing became bad, and it was stale. Where that, for the community at the very least, was something that was interesting and new. Um, I didn't stay long on it,
Why?
um, simply because I'm not a mobile gamer. But I did stay in touch with community forums,
Why did
and
you say that like you were working at a receptionist at a doctor's office? Because
That's
I'm not
fair.
a mobile gamer.
Not a mobile gamer. Um, I was answering a lot of phone calls today, guys.
Clearly.
um, but people seem to really enjoy um the storytelling again, and that's where I think that people fell in love with Destiny. So I'm gonna mention that. I will. Okay, get
Okay.
over it.
All right, fine. Remember, if you want to pick up Destiny Rising, you go to whatever mobile or Android play and you type in PERSONA, the Phantom X.
Touche,
Which, if you're
touche.
going to play a mobile game, go play Persona 5 the Phantom X. Genuinely fucking awesome. I'm still playing this shit every day.
Are you serious?
Dead serious. I don't
So
talk about it
he
anymore.
doesn't
because I feel
mention
like
it.
Yeah, because I feel like I'm beating a dead horse, but that shit's still.
Oh, shit.
One more question coming in from Black Wyver saying, now that Matt is back from his stealth mission, what's the update on Stellar Blade 2? It's all AI. Just kidding. If you could get a sequel for a not so successful game, which one would it be? What are your thoughts on a sequel for the Order 1886? Did any of us play the Order 1886? Because I
all
did
the way
not.
through. All the way
Okay.
through. That's one game that I totally wished they continued, and I was looking forward to a sequel. Yeah, I think there was something there, especially because it was a release title for the PlayStation 4, correct?
I believe so, yeah.
No.
No?
I'm almost certain that it was. If not, it was
Like
close.
they announced it, I think, but I think it came out like 2 years later, maybe 18 months later.
Really? Hold on.
Like, because what PS3 came out or PS4 came out 2013.
So the
I wanna
Order
say?
1886 came out February 20th, 2015.
Oh,
PS4
not at the
came
console's
out-
2013 launch. Okay.
No.
Oh yeah,
no.
you're right. Damn. Literally a year and a half later. Way to snipe that, Denny.
Wow. Geez.
All that Buckley's is doing work.
I mean, he is the fact checker. So
He is.
yeah, I don't know of any not so successful. Let's see. I got to think about that.
I got one right off the top.
Okay.
Give me
Black Ops 7?
I got 2. Yeah, I need Black Ops 8. Okay, I got 3. Guardians of the Galaxy deserves another game.
Fuck yeah. Yes.
Guardians of the
Yeah.
Galaxy, I think in part failed because of a bad initial showing, and it was in the shadow of Marvel's Avengers. And it was incredible. Has told a fantastic story.
So
was
good.
a ton of fun to play. Made me cry on multiple occasions, but also made me laugh. Guardians of the Galaxy is so criminally slept on.
So true.
I would really love to see another chance at that, because I think if they ironed out some of the gameplay stuff and really tried to reintroduce it to the audience, I think you have a potential franchise right there. I lied. I have one more. Give me a PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale 2. That one's obvious. I don't need to say any more. And give me Sleeping Dogs 2. I'm still shocked that we haven't had a remake or a sequel to Sleeping Dogs, because that shit fucking ruled.
Yep.
That
was such a great game.
It kind of came out at the tail end of like that GTA copy fest, where there was a new GTA clone, I feel like every other month, but it was better than all of them. And I wish we got a sequel. Denny,
Concord 2.
Yeah, Concord 2. Concord 2.
Sorry.
Denny, any sequels to some not so successful games that you'd want to see?
Yes, actually, one of them that just came to mind, but I don't know if it was successful or not. But anybody remember Stranglehold?
Yes, John Woo's Stranglehold.
Yes, that needs a sequel. But my actual answer, and like Rice, I'm going to be very on brand for Denny here. I would like to see, and it might be a bit of a cop out, but whatever, it's my answer. I would like to see a remake.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Fuck you. A proper remake on modern
Of The
hardware.
Last of Us.
Good night, everybody.
If you say Final Fantasy 9, I'm gonna kick your ass out right now.
No, Sonic Boom, Rise of Lyric, the one that came out on the Wii U.
What?
Really?
Okay,
The
first of
Wii
all,
U.
that game had some fun moments. It was just on really like the engine they chose was really poor like not suited for the Wii U because they use like the Cry engine or whatever Crysis runs on.
Isn't that game supposed to be like genuinely hot garbage or one of the worst Sonic games?
Technically, yes. It's a technical thing.
No,
I mean, I like
No shade, continue.
for me, because like when you get to play Sonic and the higher speed levels were really fun, the exploration was fun, getting to play with different characters was fun. It was just really buggy, and one of the reasons why is because the engine was like not meant for the Wii U. So put it on another engine or use the same engine because we know Crysis will run on almost anything these days. So I'm sure this will now. And just give me a working version of the damn game.
Okay.
Hmm.
All right. Bryce, anything from you?
What was the question?
A remake or a sequel to a not so successful game. My dude, you're supposed to be researching what game you wanted to talk about.
Oh yeah, in my jab at Concord, I lost the plot.
His answer is the order 1886. Did you
Yeah, that
actually
was-
play that game, Race?
Yeah, I played it straight
Oh,
through,
okay.
man. I truly enjoyed my experience with that, and maybe it was because I like games that are like minimal HUD. Everything is incorporated kind of into the visual. Like, yeah, I really enjoyed it. You guys haven't played the game?
No, I never. I was at a time. I was in university when it came out, and I had no money. And it was one of those
Sure.
things where I was just like, if I had money to spend, it wasn't going towards a game by all accounts that just didn't hit for folks.
Totally understand.
You know?
Totally understand. It was
I
too
don't-
short. I think that the game could have been longer, but I thought what I played was brilliant.
I don't think that game was worth my time or my money back then, even when it hit like the bargain bin for like $1 because everybody traded it in at EB Games.
I think everybody
So I
traded
didn't
it
play
because
it.
it was too short.
Yeah, wasn't it like 4 hours long?
Really?
You could finish it in like 6 to 8 hours. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Order 1886. How long? Hold on. I'm pretty sure it was short as fuck.
7 to 9 hours. Yeah. Okay. A straight through playthrough focused on objectives can be finished in 6 to 7 hours.
Yeah, rushed on main story is 546. All right, folks. Well,
I
that brings
wasn't
us
lying. Guys, they both fact checked me because they were just like, "This motherfucker didn't play this game."
Listen. After you open that door, I don't know if I can trust anymore. All right. I know it was
I
you.
didn't open the door. That fucking door.
That brings us to the end of this new show, folks. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. It is good to be back. I missed doing this with you, wonderful gents. We'll be back next week, obviously. But in the meantime, if people wanted to catch some of these wily streams of yours, Denny, where could they do so?
They can catch them on Twitch. Yeah, that's the one. I was about to say Instagram. That's not right. But other places you can catch me are on Instagram or various other socials, which are on my Linktree, which is Linktree/DinnerConGaming. But yeah, normally Thursdays-ish, me and Rice, sometimes Matt, play a game. Hilarity ensues. Conversations happen. We find out what we ate for dinner. It's generally a good time.
Yeah, or go check your Walmart's clearance aisle, and Denny might be there too. Rice, my dude, where can people find you?
Linktree/Rice BOYYY TV. As you guys know, thank you so much for checking out the streams. By the way, everybody, I have seen some of our viewers and listeners in the chat there. So appreciate you guys. We do love you, and we do appreciate the engagement there. So come hang out. You'll see us just being silly and stuff, a little less serious than here. I mean,
Yeah.
Are we really serious here?
I was just gonna say, are we ever
we?
serious? We're
Are
wearing
we?
matching yellow sweaters, Rice.
Yeah. And like, if you want to see the streams, you might see me begging Rice for help and him closing the elevator door in my face. As for myself, of course, you can find me here all over Console Creatures, and you can find more of my words over at botwhytho.net.
right then.
Folks, thanks for hanging out with us. We appreciate all of you all so very much, as always. Take care of one another, and we'll see you next week. Peace.
Peace.